Pauwi ka na ba ng Pilipinas ngayong 2022? And nais mong malaman ano ba ang latest arrival protocol para sa pag-uwi mo dito sa Pilipinas? Yan ang ating alamin sa latest IATF announcement for the arrival protocol para po sa mga arriving travelers here in the Philippines. Panoorin po natin ang video so that you can find out. Excited na ba kayo umuwi dito sa Pilipinas at nais niyong malaman ano ba, Jamey, ang latest IATF protocol from January 1 to 15, 2022? Yes, 2022 na po. Ang bilis ng panahon at eto na, we are starting again another new year. By the way, everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Jamey Iris TALK TV. We're in pag-uusapan po natin, we will be talking about travel updates and many other topics that will definitely help you. Even tutorials. So, kung bago ka sa aking channel, iniimbitahan kita na please subscribe to my channel so that you'll get updated then with the latest information as well as tutorials. Just make sure that you click the notification bell so that you'll get updated every time I have a new video. And of course, welcome back sa ating mga subscribers. Ngayon pong video ito, we will talk about the latest IATF protocol that was announced today by the acting presidential spokesperson and cabinet secretary, Carlo Nograles. I'll share that to you at alamin natin. Nadagdagan ba ang red list countries natin or nabawasan? How about the green list countries? Sila pa rin ba ang nasa green list o nadagdagan? And at the same time, ang ating mga yellow list countries. At maari naman po, syempre, kapag dumating na kayo dito, nais niyong malaman how strict ba ang alert level system that we have here in the Philippines. Alamin po natin, may nagbago ba sa alert level system here in the Philippines? All of those po we will be discussing in this video. Simulan na po natin regarding sa alert level system here in the Philippines because syempre pag natapos ang inyong quarantine, nais niyong malaman how strict ba ang Philippines ngayon? Maari ko bang makasama ang aking mga mahal sa buhay when we go out, go to the mall or in different places? Yan po ang ating i-share ngayon sa inyo sa video ito. Ano po naging desisyon ng IATF yesterday nung sila ay nagkaroon ng meeting regarding the alert level system in the Philippines? Ito po ang kanilang naging desisyon. According to, again, Carlo Nograles, our acting presidential spokesperson and cabinet secretary, the IATF had approved the recommendation na i-maintain po, huwag baguhin, in all provinces, highly urbanized cities, and independent component cities na ang alert level 2 ay ma-maintain po. So that's quite a great news for all of us. From January 1 to 15, 2022. What does it mean for you and your family? Pagkatapos nyo po ng hotel at home quarantine, maari nyo po silang makasama, magpunta sa mall, in different places, but of course, strictly observing po yung mga health and safety protocol. But then again, even ang mga bata, maari nyo po makasama in places wherein you can have your own bonding as a family. Pero katulad po ng nasabi ko kanina, they're encouraging that everyone should follow and adhere to the health and safety protocol nang sa gayon po hindi kumalat lalo ang Omicron virus. So far po, 5 pa lang ang cases na confirm here in the Philippines. So looking forward, wag na po siya dumami katulad po sa ibang bansa. Well, I have another video about that and I'll just keep you updated. For the meantime, let's focus on the arrival protocol for all of you. Now, if that is the alert level system here in the Philippines, sa inyong pagdating, alamin muna saan ba category ang bansa kung saan kayo manggagaling na classify. Alamin po natin ang red list countries na dagdagan ba o nabawasan. Ang new country risk classification from January 1 to 15, 2022, according to IATF as announced by Carlo Nograles, ito po ang latest classification po natin. Yun, meron na po tayong 6 na lang na mga bansa na napapabilang sa red list countries. And what are these countries? So from January 1 to 15, we have Eswatini, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, and Spain. So first time po napasok sa red list countries ang bansang Espanya. Mga kabayan na, alam mo, marami po akong mga kaibigan, marami po tayong mga kabayan na pauwi galing Espanya. Mga kabayan at kaibigan na galing sa Espanya o mula sa Espanya. At this point in time, I'm so sorry to be the bearer of the sad news that napabilang po ang inyong bansa sa red list countries from January 1 to 15. So ibig sabihin po nito, you are subject for the red list protocol kung sakasakaling may balak po kayong umuwi sa Pilipinas. Pero we are praying, we're hoping by January 16 onwards, hoping katulad po ng ibang mga bansa, the past few months, naalis na rin po sila sa red list country. So tiis muna po tayo for the meantime. From January 1 to 15 na maari po, pag-isipan nyo po, kayo ba lilipat sa Pilipinas within these dates or maaring pagpaliban nyo po muna and tingnan natin ano magiging protocol po pagdating ng January 16. Bakit po? Mamaya i-discuss ko why am I suggesting that or why am I asking that question para din po sa inyo nang hindi masayang naman yung pagbabakasyon nyo sa hotel quarantine kasi mas mahaba po ang hotel quarantine ng mga nasa red list countries kung sakasakaling uuwi po kayo sa Pilipinas at yung process when it comes to going home medyo it's not as easy as if hindi kayo nasa red list countries. So mamaya po i-discuss natin yan. Meantime, alamin naman po natin anong mga bansa ang napabilang sa green list countries. Ang mga bansa sa green list countries from January 1 to 15, 2022 are the following. Ang mga bansa po sa green list countries, January 1 to 15, 2022 are the following: Bangladesh, Benin, Bhutan, British Virgin Islands, China Mainland, Ivory Coast, Djibouti, Equatorial Guinea, Falkland Islands, Hong Kong, Fiji, the Gambia, Guinea, Indonesia, Kuwait, Kyrgyzstan, Liberia, Montserrat, Oman, Pakistan, Paraguay, Rwanda, Sabah, St. Barthélemy, Sao Tome and Principe, Senegal, Sierra Leone, St. Eustatius, Taiwan, Timor-Leste, Togo, Uganda, and the United Arab Emirates. Naku, napakasaya ko din naman po. Why? Kasi po second home ko ang United Arab Emirates. Even my brother is actually there right now at maraming mga kaibigan. So I'm simply glad po at least until this point in time na maintain po ng mga maraming bansang ito ang green list category po. Lalo na ang United Arab Emirates wherein napakadami pong mga Pinoy, mga kabayan ang nakatira dyan at marami rin po ang sumulat po sa akin na sinasabi niyong pauwi na po kayo ng Pilipinas. So great news na sa green list country pa rin po kayo. Now, how about the yellow list countries? So just like what we announced before, for the yellow list countries naman po, all other countries that were not mentioned as part of green list or the red list countries, it means you belong to the yellow list countries. So I will also share to you the protocols that we have for the yellow list countries from January 1 to 15, 2022. Meron pa pong karagdagang iminention si Secretary Carlo Nograles regarding what IATF had approved. So alamin po natin ito. According to IATF, upon the recommendation of the DFA or Department of Foreign Affairs, inaprubahan na po ang acceptance and recognition for purposes of arrival quarantine protocols as well as for interzonal or intrazonal movement of the National COVID-19 Vaccination Certificate ng mga following na mga bansa po. Ano-ano itong mga bansang ito? Andyan po Armenia, Germany, Thailand, Belgium, Kuwait, Oman, Canada, New Zealand, United States of America. Ayan, yung pinakaiintay po natin for a very long time. France and Sri Lanka. So, ibig sabihin po kung ano man po yung national certificate that actually your country or these countries that you have that will be automatically accepted by the Philippines as long as the brand of the vaccine po na ginamit po doon ay accepted po ng Philippine FDA. Ayan po. So, karagdagan po itong mga bansang ito dun sa mga bansang in-announce po natin the last time that we had the IATF protocol. And also, katulad ng sabi ko kanina, this is in addition to such other countries, territories, jurisdiction whose proofs of vaccination the IATF already approved for recognition in the Philippines. And sabi nga po, without prejudice to such proofs of vaccination approved by the IATF for all of the inbound travelers. So yun po, yun ang kanilang titingnan if again i-accept nila or not yung inyong vaccination certificate. So all of these countries, along with the previous one that were approved, will be accepted by the POQ. Ayan. In connection with this, the Bureau of Quarantine, the Department of Transportation, the One-Stop Shop, and the Bureau of Immigration are directed po to recognize only the proofs of vaccination that was approved by IATF as of December 30, 2021. So medyo strict po tayo dito. So Ms. Jamey, kung sakasakaling vaccination certificate ko ay wala pang reciprocal agreement with the Philippines, so what will we do? So again, para sa lahat ng mga Filipinos, that's accepted naman tayo. Yun po yung sinasabi po nila. Now, just make sure then yung brand that you have ay accepted din po ng Philippine FDA. I'll give you a little bit more of details in a little while about this. Now, let us just take a look at the protocol for the green list countries. Since there's no change in the protocol, so it means that whatever protocols, arrival protocols that we have for the green list countries last month po, that's also what we will be using for January 1 to 15, 2022. So let us just recap, lalo na kung bago pa lang po kayo nakikinig ng mga travel protocols po natin. Now, for the green list countries from January 1 to 15, 2022, since wala naman pong change na binago po sila or sinabi, so we will still be following yung protocols po for green list countries as what we had for December 16 to 31, 2021. Ano po yun? Especially if this is your first time to actually learn or hear about the protocols about arriving travelers here in the Philippines. So una po, for fully vaccinated, so you need to present a negative RT-PCR test taken within 72 hours prior departure from the country of origin. And then yung hotel quarantine nyo po will be on the 3rd day. It means po yung first day nyo is yung day of arrival nyo in the Philippines, whatever time it may be. And then the result will be released either on the 4th or the 5th day, 24 to 48 hours po, usually in turnaround time. Now, facility-based quarantine. So you have to pre-book the hotel, at least sa mga non-OFWs and foreigners, at least pre-book it for 4 days and 3 nights. Yan po. Now, how about for your home quarantine? So, once you got your result po, pag nakuha na po nyo ito, you can check out immediately, but you have to complete your home quarantine. Again po, for the fully vaccinated green list country passenger, ang inyong quarantine, ang naiiba po, compared sa iba, you will only have to complete your 10 days na home quarantine. So again, bibilang po tayo from the day that you arrived here in the Philippines. Yes, 10 days lang po, hindi po 14 days. But then again, eto po, iba naman po kung kayo ay hindi vaccinated. If you are not vaccinated or you're partially vaccinated or the status of your vaccination cannot be confirmed, then therefore, when it comes to the negative RT-PCR test, you still have to present and take one within 72 hours before your departure or your flight. Upon arrival in the Philippines, yung swab test day nyo po will be on the 7th day. And then the result will be released either on the 8th or 9th day kasi po nga 24 hours to 48 hours po ang releasing ng resulta. Kung kayo ay non-OFW or you're a foreigner, then you have to pre-book a hotel at least 8 days, 7 nights po. This time, when you do your home quarantine, yours will be 14 days in total. So, hotel quarantine plus the remaining days upon check-out po ninyo, then that will be the total of 14 days. So, yan po for green list countries. So, yan po ang inyong arrival protocol. For the arriving travelers from the yellow list countries, again from January 1 to 15, now here's the protocol for you. If you are a fully vaccinated traveler, then you really have to present then po the RT-PCR test negative result taken within 72 hours before your flight. Now, your hotel quarantine swab test day will be on the 5th day, and then wait lang po again tayo ng 1 day to 2 days or 24 hours to 48 hours. Maari po ma-release ang inyong resulta. Then, for non-OFWs and foreigners, you have to book at least 6 days and 5 nights. Now, how about home quarantine? So, once you receive your negative result, regardless of which, you still have to complete your home quarantine. So that will be a total of 14 days. Counting po, day 1 will be your arrival here in the Philippines. Now, how about po? If your vaccination status is you're not vaccinated at all, and at the same time partially vaccinated ka or status cannot be confirmed. So you still have to present a negative RT-PCR test result taken within 72 hours before your flight po. And swab test day po ninyo is on the 7th day. Release might be again 24 to 48 hours. Ang pre-booking for a non-OFW must be at least 8 days or 7 nights. Again, for you, you also have to complete, even if negative po ang resulta na nakuha ninyo, a total of 14 days home quarantine, counting day 1 as your day of arrival here in the Philippines. So yan po para sa ating mga yellow list countries. Now, kung mapapansin niyo po, ini-emphasize ko kanina yung within 72 hours prior departure from the country of origin. What does it mean po? Marami sa inyo ang nalilito dito. Now, ibig sabihin po nito, for example, let us just say ang uwi nyo ay January 5 po. Let us just say, ang flight ninyo sa Pilipinas, for example po, January 5, 11 a.m. Yan po yung example natin. Now, Miss Jamey, kailan po ako pwede magpa-RT-PCR test? Now, sabi, 72 hours po. So, it's again like 3 days. Pero po, they're very particular po counting the hours po. So, we will also take into consideration not only the date, but also the hours. Iba po siya ha. Huwag kayong maguluhan dun sa One Health Pass. So, that's another thing. It only focuses on the date. Here, it focuses on the date and the hours. So, very particular sila 72 hours before your flight. So, anong ibig sabihin po nito? Hindi naman po kailangan eksaktong 72 hours. Pwede pong within 72 hours, wag lang pong lalampas ng 72 hours. Kung January 5 yan, and then let us just say po 11 a.m. ang lipad po ninyo as per the itinerary ninyo, so bibilang po tayo. So 5, so January 4, January 3, January 2, pwede na po kayong magpakuha. Anong oras? Hindi pwede kahit kailan sa January 2 kasi baka sumobra ka sa 72 hours. So ibig sabihin po niyan, kung 11 a.m. yung alis mo sa January 5, so simula po ng January 2, 11 a.m. pataas po. 12 noon, 2 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m. Pwede pa nga until kinabukasan po, January 3. Pero siguraduhin nyo lang po from the lab provider na makukuha nyo yung resulta bago po kayo lumipad. Pwede po yun. Kasi ang sabi ay within. Now, bakit importante din po ito? Bakit? Kasi if you will be transiting, for example, meron pong mga bansa like Singapore po. Singapore requires you to at least present an RT-PCR test, a negative result taken 48 hours before your flight. So anong ibig sabihin po nito? So para wag magdoble ang gastos po ninyo, katulad ng nangyari po sa ating ilang mga kabayan na talagang shinare po din nila yung kanilang, kumbaga po, hindi magandang story na nadoble yung bayad po nila for RT-PCR test kasi akala po nila strictly 72 hours po bago ang flight kukuha ng RT-PCR test. Again, meron po kung bagay yung provision doon na within 72 hours. So, yun ang i-take natin into consideration. Since ang kanyang flight bago sa Pilipinas ay Singapore, maari naman po sana, kasi na-inform lang siya ng agency late na, maari naman siya mag-take ng RT-PCR test 48 hours. Kumbaga, sasabayan niya na yung requirement ng Singapore. Kasi ang Pilipinas naman, hindi naman stricto na, ay, kailangan 72 hours lang. Ang sabi is within. So, maari namang magpakuha ng 48 hours before the flight. Yun nga lang po, ang lagi kong sinasabi, make sure, isigurado niyo po, kulitin niyo na yung inyong lab test, swab test provider na kailangan makuha yan before na kayo ay lumipad. So, check niyo muna bago kayo magpakuha. Can you actually provide the result before this date? Kasi ito yung lipad ko and requirement yan. So you have to be very, kumbaga po, firm doon sa swab test provider. Kung hindi, hanap kayo ng swab test provider that will actually provide you yung swab test within the time that you needed. One, kailangan nyo po yun i-present sa airport. Second, sa 1.5 pass din po. So kailangan nyo din po siya. So just make sure that you have it because napaka-importante yung pinaka hard copy po natin kasi tinitingnan po rin yan sa airport aside po kung mag-a-upload po tayo sa 1.5 pass na sometimes may challenge yung kanilang website, so we sometimes simply just have to kumbaga show it to the airport or send it a copy to BOQ po. So yan, but I have another video po kung ano ba yung 1.5 pass, Jamey. Panoorin nyo na lang po yung video ko, tutorial po dyan, step by step po tinuturuan ko kayo so that at least you know. Para naman po sa red list countries from January 1 to 15, 2022, what does this mean? Now, all inbound international travel of all persons regardless of vaccination status coming from or who have been to the red list countries po, jurisdictions or territories within the last 14 days prior to arrival to any port of the Philippines shall not be allowed po. So, foreigners definitely are not allowed at this point in time. And again, kahit na Filipino kayo, pero kumbaga, meron po tayong kumbaga condition kung kayo po ay papauwiin sa Pilipinas. Ayan. So, kung kayo ay Filipino, you can actually go back to the Philippines via, again, government-initiated or non-government-initiated repatriation and bayanihan flights may be allowed to entry subject to the prevailing entry, testing, and quarantine protocols for red list countries and jurisdiction territories. Padaliin po natin. Ang ibig sabihin po nito, kung manggagaling kayo from any of the 6 countries na nasa red list ngayon, maari kayong umuwi kung kayo ay Filipino. Makipag-ugnayan lamang po kayo sa Philippine Embassy or Polo OWA para alamin ano po ba itong mga flights na ino-organize nila para makauwi po ang mga Filipinos sa Pilipinas. Now, hindi po kayo allowed kasi to travel through a commercial flight. Now, ano ba itong bayanihan flight na ito? Itong bayanihan flights na to ay kumbaga ang nag-organize nito ay Philippine Embassy or Polo OWA for the Filipinos who will be going home. Ang ibig sabihin din po nito, hindi po ito libre. You will also have to pay for this kasi kumbaga it's somewhat like it's a charter po ito ng Philippine Embassy or Polo OWA para lahat po ng mga, for example, in the red list countries na gustong umuwi ng Pilipinas, they will pull it, gather at sabay-sabay kayong uuwi. Kumbaga po, kung one country to another, so sunduan po yan. That's why it's called bayanihan. So it could be from Spain. Ayan, mag-gather muna kung sino mga gustong umuwi between January 1 to 15. And then pupunta po yan sa ibang bansa na red list countries. Then ipipick up po or susunduin yung iba pa. Again, sometimes sabi nila medyo costly yung amount kasi konti lang kayo. Sometimes baka nga hindi pa mapuno yung eroplano, so kaya hindi pwedeng kumbaga isang bansa lang kasi kung hindi niyo mapupuno yung eroplano, it means the cost of the airline fee will be divided amongst you. So talagang mabigat siya. So yun po ang isang consideration natin. So kung gusto niyo po ba talagang umuwi ng January 1 to 15, ako po ay suggestion lamang nito or I'm just giving you my thoughts about it kasi nga po there could be a possibility that the fare will be very high. Now, or you would like to, kumbaga, wait po until January 16. Again, we don't have any guarantee kung maaalis ang bansa nyo sa red list countries, but it's worth then po tingnan kung sakasakali po. Kasi, ganito po ang mangyayari. One, ito po, you will have to wait for a bayanihan flight. Now, kung sakasakali po merong schedule na, pwede po kayong, kumbaga, magpalista, and then you will have to pay what you have to pay, pero pagdating niyo sa Pilipinas, you are still subject for whatever entry, kumbaga, ang kailangan na protocol or requirements, testing and quarantine. So, tingnan po natin. Ano po ba yung entry requirements if you're coming from a repatriation or government, non-government, or mga bayanihan flights? So if you're fully vaccinated, you have to also present an RT-PCR test taken within 72 hours before your flight. Ang swab test po ninyo kung kayo ay fully vaccinated is on the 7th day. Release is 8 to 9 days. Ang pre-booking po sa hotel is at least 8 days or 7 nights po. Now you have to complete yung home quarantine nyo po until 14 days. Yan po ay kung fully vaccinated kayo. Pero, kung kayo ay from the red list countries at partially vaccinated po kayo, not vaccinated or status cannot be confirmed, it means that you also have to present an RT-PCR test taken within 72 hours before your flight. Swab test nyo ikapitong araw. Ang release po nito, 8 or 9th day, pero ang kaibahan lang po kasi not vaccinated kayo or not fully vaccinated, you still have to stay in the hotel hanggang 10 araw po. Maari po 10 days and 9 nights po. Bakit? Kahit po nakakuha na po kayo ng resulta na negative ito, hindi pa rin po kayo palalabasin kasi yan po ang required quarantine for anyone who's coming from the red list at hindi po bakunado. Now, once lumabas po kayo sa ika-10 araw, you have to complete the 14 days home quarantine, counting day 1 as your day of arrival here in the Philippines. So, yan po ang protocol natin for the red list countries. So again, it's your decision whether you want to go back to the Philippines within this time period or you want to take a look and check po January 16 onwards. Meron naman nagtatanong, Jamey, paano yan? I'll be transiting in a red list country. Paano yon when I go back? Ibig sabihin, red list country na rin ako? The answer is no. In case that you are a passenger who's merely transiting to a red country, it doesn't mean that you will now be categorized as red list countries, or as part of the red list country. Whatever country you came from, that is actually the country classification that you will have as long as ikaw ay nag-transit lamang at hindi ka pumasok sa border ng red list country at hindi ka nagstay ng 14 days doon. Or sabi pa po dito, if you were not cleared for entry into such country by its immigration or authorities. Ano naman po for anyone who's traveling with minors, if you are the parents or if you are the guardian, as in all international inbound travels, the testing and quarantine protocols for minors shall follow the testing and quarantine protocols of the parent or guardian with them, regardless of the minor's vaccination status. Now, notwithstanding, children 3 years old below, regardless of the country of origin, shall be exempted from the requirement of presenting a negative RT-PCR test result before boarding the flight unless symptomatic. So katulad po na na-explain natin in the other videos, if you are traveling with minors, whether po, again, pag 3 years old below, hindi na po nila kailangan mag-present ng RT-PCR test prior flying unless meron po silang symptoms. Pero po, if 3 years old above na po, then they do have to be swab tested prior flying and at the same time upon arriving. Now, how about the children who were not swabbed prior flying? Isa-swab ba sila pagdating sa Pilipinas? Yes. Hindi po sila exempted when it comes to kumbaga swab testing once you arrive in the Philippines. They will only be exempted 3 years below before flying. Upon arrival in the Philippines, all ages, everyone will be swab tested. So far, this remains the same. Unaccompanied minors, so Filipino citizens coming from the red list countries, jurisdiction, territories shall not be allowed boarding by the airlines, except if such minors are returning through the repatriation program of the national government, non-government initiated repatriation, and bayanihan flights. Upon arrival in the Philippines, the repatriated minor shall be turned over to the OWA house parent who, in coordination with the DSWD, shall ensure the minor's safety and their observance of the quarantine protocol. So, nothing changed. It's the same po as last time. Now, eto rin po, katulad ng sabi ko po sa inyo, i-share ko po sa inyo ano po ba yung vaccination requirements that were discussed in IATF Resolution number 154C. So again, for any OFWs, now in lieu of the polo certification, OFWs and your dependents who will be traveling with you, such as your spouse, children, parents traveling with you, vaccinated abroad, you may present your national digital physical vaccination certificate of the foreign government where you were vaccinated without the need for reciprocity agreement. So, clear po tayo doon. Kahit hindi po nabanggit yung mga bansa ninyo, doon sa nabanggit natin earlier and in the other reports that we have mentioned, basta OFW ka, kahit walang reciprocity agreement with the country, they will accept it as long as the brand also are approved by the Philippine FDA. Now, how about Filipinos who are non-OFWs vaccinated in the country or abroad, and also foreigners, so who are vaccinated in the Philippines? Now, either you can present your VaccCert PH if you have that, or pwede pong digital vaccination certificate nito, BOQ, WHO issued international certificate of vaccination or prophylaxis in yellow card po, or the national or state digital certificate of the foreign government where they were vaccinated, which was accepted VaccCert PH under a reciprocal arrangement unless otherwise permitted by the IATF. So, karagdagang bansa po yung shinare natin kanina. Now, for foreign nationals naman who were vaccinated overseas, ang kailangan nyo pong i-present here once you arrive in the Philippines are WHO-issued ICV or the national state digital certificate of the foreign government which has accepted VaccCert PH under a reciprocal arrangement unless otherwise permitted by the IATF. So yan po yung mga vaccination requirements as per IATF. And kabayan at kaibigan, ito po ang latest IATF update natin for today. So this was released December 30, 2021 for January 1 to 15, 2022. For any other updates, we are waiting for that from IATF. Looking forward, wag na po madagdagan ang mga red list countries. Tandaan nyo po, or mga green list countries, sabi po nila, kung sakasakaling tumaas ang Omicron, kumbaga cases sa inyo, there's a big possibility from green list, maaring malipat sa yellow list countries. But other than that, this is what we have for today. Looking forward po sa mga uuwi. So sa mga uuwi po, ingat po kayo. God bless you. At syempre po, Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I'm praying a prosperous and blessed New Year to all of you. Great health po and safety to you and your family. At looking forward po, magkasama-sama na po kayo ngayong 2022. Sa mga kabayan po natin na nasa red list countries, wag po kayo mawala ng pag-asa. Looking forward by January 16, it will be better po at hindi na kayo kasama sa red list countries. To anyone who's watching right now who have not yet subscribed, I'm inviting you to please subscribe to my channel so that you'll get updated with the latest videos and tutorials po natin. At everyone, if you find this video very helpful and informative, please click like, and at the same time po click na rin po ang notification bell so that lagi kayo ma-update kapag may bagong videos po ako, especially this coming 2022, wherein marami po ako mga new segments na hatid para sa inyo. So everyone, muli po, ako po si Jamey Iris na nagsasabi pong maraming salamat sa inyong pagsuporta sa aking channel at sa inyong mga encouraging messages po sa ating comment box at sa inyong mga question. I really appreciate it at patuloy po tayo ngayong 2022 na magbabalita po sa inyo at tutulong sa inyong mga katanungan. So once again everyone, maraming salamat, God bless you and Happy New Year!